Hello everyone. My name is Ivan Shipov. I am a pre-sale engineer at TRASSIR, and this is our new webinar dedicated to the ActivePOS module. Today, we will talk about the module for monitoring cash transactions. Let's talk about its purpose and the principle of operation. Let's look at the algorithms and technologies used in this module. Let's talk about the module's capabilities, as well as the connection algorithm. What types of incidents are there in ActivePOS, and how the cash terminals are configured? Let's look at the reports and their search, as well as what hardware can be used for this module. Let's start with the main purpose of the module. The ActivePOS module is designed to monitor cash transactions in order to prevent fraud by cashiers and store staff, as well as to help resolve conflict situations with customers. The module can be used both in large supermarket chains, cinemas, hairdressers, gas stations, and at any point of sale. The operating principle of the module is as follows. A terminal must be created in TRASSIR for each object, cash terminal, from which events are to be received. Each terminal can process data from only one protocol. The cashier sends events to TRASSIR, and the events are sent to the corresponding terminal. The terminal collects the received events, converting them from the protocol format to the TRASSIR format, and then saves the events to the database. From there, they are used to build various reports, search for events, and detect incidents. What algorithms and technologies are used in this module? The ActivePOS module can receive events via TCP or UDP protocols from any other system, provided that the cash terminal system is integrated or events will arrive in the DSSL XML format. In order to configure the transmission of events from cash terminals, it is necessary to specify the IP address, port and protocol of the TRASSIR server in the trading system software. You can find the settings for each of the supported trading systems in the documentation of the cash terminal software vendors. A list of integrated cash terminal systems can be found in the article, which will be listed in the description of the video. If you haven't found the right cash terminal system in the list, it means that its integration is required. There are two options for integrating the cash terminal software into our system. The first option is native integration, done on the TRASSIR side. For this integration, the customer will need to provide us with the full API of the cash terminal system and all documentation, as well as provide remote access. The second option is integration on the side of the cash producer. In this case, on our part, we provide a description of the universal DSSL XML format. The developers of the cash terminal software manufacturer, in turn, need to make sure that their data in their format is converted to our format. This can be either inside their software or a separate intermediary software that translates data into DSSL XML. Now let's look at the module's capabilities. Splitting the continuous text stream in the receipt into a set of events containing all the actions of the cashier, not all of which are reflected in the buyer's receipt. Operations with the cash drawer, registration of the cashier, accrual of discounts, withdrawal of a report for cash collection, and etc., setting up the reaction to any of the events of the cash terminal. Saving events such as sale, cancellation, refund, cancellation, and so on to a database with the ability to search for any combination of them, combining the receipt number, cashier's name, time interval, purchase amount, and etc. Linking events to a video sequence with the ability to search for a video frame of interest by event. Color highlighting of alarming and obviously suspicious transactions immediately as they occur. The operator sees the situation online. Quick search in the event archive. Providing statistics and analytical reports on sales. For example, cancellation of goods, accrual of discounts, the average amount of the receipt. A flexible filter for receipt transactions and synchronous display from a surveillance camera allow you to identify almost any theft scheme. And convenient archive management tools allow you to immediately respond to any emergency situations. Next, we'll look at the connection algorithm. The cash terminals and the TRASSIR server are connected to a local network. A camera is mounted next to each cash terminal. In the settings of each cash terminal, the IP address and port of the server to which the data about the completed transactions will be sent are set. In the server settings, a signal from the camera located next to the cashier is linked to each cash register. For each cash terminal, the received video is complemented by a synchronous description of the operations performed. Subtitles. All videos are saved in the archive. If necessary, the TRASSIR administrator sets up filters for suspicious events, the occurrence of which requires additional attention from supervisors. What are ActivePOS incidents responsible for? Incidents are specialized events that arise as a result of analyzing the actions of personnel and represent violations of the established rules of operation of a trading company. For example, violation of the rules of cash and settlement services, issuance of a receipt without a signature, release of goods without a receipt, and others. Violations that cause intentional or unintentional damage to the organization or customers, imitation of product scanning, sale of goods with low weight, and others. Violations resulting from non-compliance with the organization's internal standards, late store opening, mobile phone use, and others. The following types of incidents are used in TRASSIR, automatically detectable. Incidents are detected using configured detectors. Manually detected incidents, which require the operator's participation to confirm. To view the list of incidents and manage them, go to the Plugins section, then ActivePOS and the Incidents section. In order to be able to detect incidents, it is necessary to set a flag opposite the required incident, and also, when using automatically detected incidents, a flag opposite the corresponding detector. To make a backup copy of the incident and detector settings and transfer them to another server, click Save Settings and select the destination folder. By default, the settings will be saved to a file POS detectors XML. In the settings of the other server, click Upload Settings and select the file you saved earlier. If any of the detectors were turned off during the operation of TRASSIR and personnel actions were not analyzed with its help, then you can turn it on at any time and process the already saved receipt archive with it. To do this, select the required detector in the list and select Archive Processing in the context menu. In the window that opens, specify the time period in which you want to process the receipts from the archive and click Process. Let's take a closer look at the configuration of the cash terminal in TRASSIR. To add a POS terminal, select the menu item ActivePOS Next Terminals and click Add a Cash Terminal. In the Cash Terminal Settings window, specify the following parameters: the name of the terminal that will be displayed in the system, the address of the server with the cash software from which information about completed transactions should be received. If the TRASSIR server and the cash terminal software are located on a local network, then this is not necessary. Next, specify the port of the cash terminal. Select TCP or UDP transport protocols. Select the camera to which the cash terminal will be linked, and select the protocol used by the trading system. You can also adjust the subtitle position and the number of characters per line separately. Subtitles from a single POS terminal can be displayed on multiple video channels. To do this, add additional channels and adjust the subtitle position. The number of additional channels is determined by the corresponding software license. If configured correctly, the events generated by the POS terminal will be displayed in the TRASSIR interface in the event log of the cash terminals and on the selected channel. The next point is ActivePOS reports. All cash terminals connected to TRASSIR transmit data to its database. This tab shows all kinds of reports, the analysis of which will allow you to make changes to the work of cashiers or the entire trading company to improve its performance. You can find the following types of reports: events versus operators, events versus devices, good versus cashiers, discount cards versus cashiers, cashiers versus total receipt prices report, and etc. You can see all types of reports on this slide. To display the selected report, click on the corresponding button. To the right of the report, there are filters and settings that allow you to reflect the data in the report in the most detail. To simplify the analysis, depending on the type of report, a different set of settings is used. For example, in the Events versus Operators report, you can configure the following filters. The flag is detailed. When it is installed, the report data is displayed in detail for each item. cashiers, or cash terminals. Otherwise, the data in the report is displayed for each connected server. The Event Types filter filters the report data by event. Set the appropriate flags to display the required events in the report. Filter Operator. The cashier filters the report data by cashiers. Each type of event can be opened separately and viewed in detail, as well as view the video archive from the camera that was connected to the cash terminal where the event took place. And if you select the Good versus Cashiers report, then instead of filtering by event type, you will have a product filter that filters the report data by product. And so on. Each type of report may have its own filters according to the amount of receipts, the duration of the receipt, the number of items in the receipt, and so on. If they are disassembled in detail, it will take a very long time. Therefore, let's move on to the next point. This is a search in ActivePOS. To analyze a violation or a controversial situation, it is necessary to analyze all available data. This tab is used to search for a specific event in order to analyze all the data describing this event. The filtered data is displayed in the corresponding interface areas, each of which can be used to navigate through events. The first is the video area, the second is the cache data area, and the third is the data area. To shorten the list of events displayed in the data area, or to find the desired event, you can use the Search and Advanced Search tabs. A simple search can be used for quick event search, when there is no need to create a filter to filter all events, or when the basic parameters of the receipt or event search are known. The search is performed using the following parameters: receipt number, product, events, cashier, time period during which the event is searched. If the parameters of a simple search are not enough, you can use the advanced search, which is based on filters used to filter events and receipts. And the final point is what kind of equipment is required for the operation of this module. This module has no strict requirements. The most important thing is integration with the cash terminal system. Any IP camera from the list of integrated or with support for ONVIF or RTSP protocols will be suitable, which will be installed above the cash terminal to record cash transactions. For a small store with 3 to 5 cash terminals, you will need 3 to 5 cameras, respectively. Any TRASSIR server or the desktop version of TRASSIR on Windows is also suitable. For a small store with 3 to 5 cash terminals, you will need 1 TRASSIR server, respectively, and often a basic video surveillance system is built on it. In addition to the cameras and the server, you will also need licenses to connect any IP cameras in equal proportion to the number of cameras and a TRASSIR ActivePOS license in equal proportion to the number of cache terminals. We have analyzed all the main points related to the ActivePOS module. We would be happy to receive feedback from you on this webinar, as well as on what topic you would like to see another similar webinar on. Bye everyone, and see you soon.